What is up, App Nation? Do you like that new countdown? It's all from StreamYard. It was a surprise for me as well. Welcome to the App Masters Friday live show, where we break down everything that's working in the app space to help you grow your downloads and, more importantly, your revenues. And something that I've been very, very much 110% in on is meta ads. There's so much value in running meta ads, purely from just obviously getting more subscribers into your app, but also some ASO efforts. And I want to talk to somebody that I truly trust, who's an amazing follow on LinkedIn and happens to work at Meta as well. So we've got Vasyl, so let's bring them all in. Vasyl, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, Steve. What's up? How are you doing today?
Amazing, man. I'll give you a proper intro, all right? I wrote it all down. All right, Vasyl, he's the Client Solutions Manager at Meta. He's helped multi-million-dollar businesses scale profitably, and a great follow. His content on LinkedIn is amazing. He's got deep expertise in media buying, app monetization, and user acquisition. We're going to talk all about why content is the name of the game. I'm a firm believer, having created content for 12 plus years, and also web to app campaigns. So Vasyl, all right, let's start with this. You said it best before when we prepped for this interview. You said content is now the foundation of successful app growth. What do you mean by that?
Cool, man. Thanks for the great intro. So what are we seeing right now? We see a huge shift in the app business for a while, and actually, like among your audience, among app developers and app factories, not everyone is up to speed as it should be, right? So right now, the main focus is on content, video content, static content, storytelling, UGC, all this creepy stuff, right? And in most of the cases, in the majority of cases of kind of growth success stories right now, these things are actually the key, right? This is the secrets to grow. And again, app factories, traditional app factories, they actually don't, in the majority of discussion I have, they don't have this mindset right now still, right? They're focusing on kind of technical stuff. Even when they kind of trying to, the first thing which is coming from when they're starting to make in the market research, right? Which tools do you use, right? For instance, you probably use a Sensor Tower, right? This is kind of the most obvious stuff, like how to see kind of what are the benchmarks for us. What should we expect for the next year? Which apps grow, right? What should you see there? Like probably AI apps, AI everything which is related to AI.
Yeah.
And it looks like the only niche which grow right now is AI, right? But it's not actually true, because Sensor Tower and a lot of kind of similar tools, they totally miss web to app side of the business, right? And app to app is a rise. Just recently we had in the podcast number that kind of 50% of app downloads or app revenue come from web to app. This is huge, right? Even if it's 30%, it's still huge. And a lot of app developers actually miss this part. It's a kind of huge stuff. And for me, this is a pity, because I saw and I still see huge amount of really great products which cannot get enough users for them. And this is kind of the reason why is it happening, just because they have wrong focus. They focus on wrong kind of products, they focus on wrong strategies, and in a majority of cases, they even focus on wrong people, wrong talents to hire, right? And then to price while they're kind of bringing their products to market. Does it make sense, Steve?
Yeah, absolutely. And I see the same thing, Vasyl. Like, I grew up in the Bay Area, so a lot of times I was told not to build a service-based business. And I stumbled onto this agency, and part of why I love the agency is I get to see the same type of things that you see too, where people do end up focusing on the product. Nobody comes to me thinking they have a shitty product, Vasyl. And so tell me, like, how do we correct that then? Okay, so I'm looking through Sensor Tower, I'm doing market research, and a lot of times that I found, Vasyl, is like most of the time, I've changed my approach. I'm like, I try to see where the market's headed versus what I think is a good idea. Now, in the early days of my entrepreneur career, I was like, this is a great idea. And I was relying on my head and my brain versus data and the market.
Steve, you're absolutely right. Like following people, this is probably the right approach, right? Like understanding where people are right now, what they're kind of looking at, and like where they're spending time. This is kind of a key, right? And where do they spend time now? They spend time in LinkedIn. They spend time like LinkedIn. Sorry,
LinkedIn. Just you and
they,
me, bro.
yeah, they spend time on LinkedIn. They spend time on Instagram. They spend
Yeah.
time on on YouTube, watching kind of live streams as we are having right now, right? This is where people are. They don't casually scroll App Store, right? They don't need new apps.
Yes.
They don't need new apps. That's it. It's the bottom line. Like the overall mobile app ecosystem as a whole is an old one, right? It's not kind of a new, like like we have no innovation that except AI, right? Like except AI, but still. So we should follow people. And what does it mean to follow people? Like, right, when we are making kind of profitable growth, when we are kind of working with bootstrap businesses, right? Because it's important to have kind of get our money back, right? It's so important. We should focus on platforms where people are, and we should focus on strategies which kind of are profitable now, which work with this kind of platforms. Okay, from the content perspective, right? What does it mean to grab someone's attention, right? In Instagram, for instance, right? And then pull them out to the web funnel, and then make kind of money out of this session, right? It's a hustle, because previously, for instance, like you have a utility app, a scanner, right? So you sit in App Store, you have your kind of ASO in a good place, and then you wait for people who come to you, install your app, because they have this need to scan something, right? They have this need to work with the documents, right? They have this purchase intent. In our case, people who are scrolling Instagram, they don't have a purchase intent to buy your app, right? In the first place, because they have all the apps already, right? And in another place, like you are ruining his or hers kind of user experience, right? Because they kind of enjoying like Instagram content, right? And then it kind of like, boom, take my app, right? So previously, your goal was to make people try your app, install your app, and give a try to your app. Right now, your goal is to make people buy your app in the first place, right? Which makes our content much more aggressive, right? Which makes apps more successful, which address this kind of very, very strong pain points of users. In another place, when we grab these people attention with our very, very strong creators with very strong selling points, we need to convert them with our kind of amazing web experience, right? This is why web to app is so important, because web to app is very customizable. You can build there whatever you want to build there, right? And then kind of having this powerful of web to app, you can sell your product to this user, right?
I love it.
And then you have a subscriber. And then only at this point, when this particular kind of a random user becomes your subscriber, this user installs your app and tries your app, right? It's totally different experience which we had before, which puts kind of totally different kind of teams, talent pools which you need to build this experience. We like compared to what you had before, right? Because right now, like in the first place, you have marketing, you have your content, you have your creatives, which should sell a click, and you have a webflow which should sell your product, right? And then after all of that, you have your app, which the goal of the app, initial goal, is to kind of increase your LTV, right, and to deliver actually the value to the user, to make this user stay in your ecosystem for as long as possible, to get as much money of these users as possible as well. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So it's a totally different mindset. It's a totally different mindset, much more focused on the beginning of the journey, right? Much more focused on content, because you need to kind of write content. You need to have a kind of powerful enough content actually to make this user kind of stop scrolling. This is the first stuff in a very, very, very noisy world which we have right now, right? So it's a kind of totally different mindset. Still, hopefully it does make sense for you.
It does. And I do want to talk about maybe a content framework, Vasyl, that you have seen work really well. Before I do, I want to say hi to a few people. What's up, John? Good to see you. Luis is here. The Phantom is here too. PJ Patrick is here. highlights time. And then bonjour from Montreal, Oleksky. All right. Ori is here. Congrats. Yes, we did surpass 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. Ben does apps. Good to see you, bro. And then Logcat Academy. Okay, see, this is why I say hi to people, because then more people say hi. What's up, guys? Everybody say hi. What's up, Bruno? Dimitri as well. Tigran. All right, good. I'm glad. Hello to everybody. All right, Vasyl, after I said hi to the crew here, let's talk about content. Do you have a framework, because content is king, right? And I love your post about this. You kind of talked about it as well. People aren't browsing the app for fun. And as much as ASO, and I don't know if you guys can see this properly, but as much as ASO, I love ASO, a lot of people just, it's getting harder. And one thing I wanted to show off was like, this is what building a brand is. You can see the search score for Headspace, and I can even do it for Calm right here, the Calm, but meditation, right? Headspace has more search traffic than meditation now. And this is popular for dating as well. And so when you're talking about content, and you said master discovery stage, create the content that pulls them in, what kind of framework do you have, or have you seen work really well to creating content that really pulls users in?
Cool, Tiz. Thanks. It's amazing question. For me, again, in my discussion with businesses, right? What I take care of in the first place. First thing is, do they really understand that content is their business? Do they really understand that their kind of head of growth is their content producer or head of creatives, right? Like, do they have this mindset or not? Does the kind of CEO of this company sends reels to their team, kind of sharing this excitement, like, look what an amazing trend, I just saw it, like, it's just amazing, kind of, guys, like, repeat this stuff, like, we need it live kind of today, right?
Yeah.
Or they kind of, boring and looking for kind of, and watching their kind of amazing, like, quarterly results in spreadsheets and focusing on this kind of, boring tables, and that's it. Right? What is the core? What is like motivation? What is the drive of this team? What is the culture of this team? This is like, it's amazing, like it's extremely important. The first place, people are like in the first place, and culture in the first place. It's important. Like, next one is like the testing culture, right? Like, do I have a chance to make mistakes? Does my kind of boss really understand that kind of creative production has 90% of fail rate, right? It means like 80 of 100 creatives I produce actually are totally waste. But I really need that to make kind of a couple of really amazing concepts, because this particular kind of boss are going to be extremely happy when this kind of 20 creatives are going to drive amazing kind of revenue growth for us. It's important. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. It's a kind of people part, the kind of the most important one. Again, it takes probably 60% of overall kind of success. Do you have right people? Do you have right mindset? Do you have right procedure, within your team?
Yeah.
This is the first one. Another one is like, do you use proper tools, right? It's important, like Sensor Tower, right? Or I don't know, as library API, right? Or kind of, we have a set of another amazing tools which really help you to track competition, right? And help you to identify these competitors, help you to track all the kind of rising stars we have on the market right now. And kind of spotting these rising stars and making kind of our response to all these kind of rising trends, let's say, in this way, right? Can you react on the market shifts in a kind of fast and in a proper way? This is important, like, right? So if we're talking about tools, our main goal is to have proper tools which show kind of market dynamic in real time. The first one, kind of reporting tools. Another one tools is like creators tools. Are we equipped enough to produce content for the trends which we can spot? Are we as fast as we would like to be, right? And thankfully we have AI. We can actually produce as much creatives as we need very fast, right? It's like kind of these processes are kind of fast, which is part of the competition. So it's a kind of it's important stuff as well. And kind of if we have right people, right tools, next one is to have right procedures and right algorithm within our team, which helps us to actually produce content, right? What does it mean? It means kind of having agile processes, having kind of weekly sprints in terms of production something. So in fact, if to simplify all this stuff, what should we do? We should have weekly sprints, right? When we kind of start in the week with discussion and ideating on what do we have right now in the market, which ideas do we have in the market, which ideas do we want to build this particular week, right? Then we have a couple of weeks to produce all the content which we can produce, and we see kind of reason to produce that. And then we have a couple of days to test all this stuff, right? And then we have another week, and we can analyze kind of results of the previous one and move forward. And this is kind of endless story when we are kind of moving in, as it used to call right now, content factory, when we just constantly producing kind of new ideas every day, every week, and this is what moves all the kind of business forward. See, what do you think of that?
I like it. And I think to make it into practical terms, Vasyl, because this is what this podcast is about, me being selfish about if I'm operating my business well, I made a bet too, Vasyl, like last year, knowing that what you're exactly talking about. Facebook was going to be the way to go. Web to app campaigns was way to go. So we hired a couple of video editors now. So we hired one video editor, and we have, maybe as you're talking, I'm like, maybe we need to have different sprints. So we have a bi-weekly, bi-monthly, every other week, we meet with the team, and I have my editors there. I have my app marketers there, and we come up with creative ideas, and we have a couple of clients that we focus on, and we just are scouring the Facebook ads library. We're trying to figure out what's trending and how do we incorporate some of this stuff, and then building out the content. And now that we're testing a few of the creatives, like because of these campaigns, we've been able to produce a lot of creatives that are higher performing for our clients versus not having this. So you're more like, hey, have a framework in mind versus me telling you, hey, go off of this trend, but have a framework in mind, because once you have the framework, you're going to figure out the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's focus on framework, on practical stuff, as you still like like to have. So the first thing is, do you understand kind of who your clients are, right? You have it in mind, right?
Yeah.
If you understand that, next stuff is to actually explore and analyze your competition landscape. This is the second one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who you compete with. This is another one. Overall, is it the growing market or not, right? This is kind of your actually your end goal. Are you gonna work with the niche which is highly successful with web to app, and you have kind of successful creative concept there which are growing right now, and for you it's totally understandable what to do, because you just can at least start with the adopting what is the best practices in the market are right now. This is the first kind of scenario. Another scenario might be I'm working with the business which is not that successful as web to app.
Okay.
This is a project. It's a kind of high risk but high reward project. The goal is we are gonna adopt web to app for this particular model, right? Okay. Like right now we have no success cases, but we're gonna be the first one. And first one takes all the money. It's a very, very understandable rule. But this task is much more complicated, right? It needs kind of additional set of skills. So let's focus on the first one. When you see kind of strong cases on the market right now, what is the first step? You need to map the competition, right? Mapping the competition, I mean, definitely there are different kind of concepts, different parts of success. The first one, let's see, the easiest one is web funnels. You just need to understand what your competitors use, kind of what are funnels, quizzes, is it quizzes or another type of content, another type of experience, what are the pricing there. It's very easy to to explore, because web is very open. You can get everything what is there. Important thing, and I really highlight to explore what's behind the paywall, right?
Okay.
What is the experience behind the paywall? You can get a lot of insight there, right? So you map this part. It's a kind of technical part. It's like, the foundation of everything. Just you can do it, and that's it. It's nothing to do with that much, except kind of test which you may have. Another one is to map kind of creative landscape there. It's important. It's like, which hooks do they use? Which video structures do they use? Kind of what are the visual hooks there? What are the characters? What are the personas do you work with? And a lot of this kind of tiny stuff, and then there might not be kind of much details there. You need to get into details as much as possible, right? To understand what really works for your competitors and why. And for videos, it's very kind of difficult to get if you are not in details. But you need to get all this stuff just to understand, what is your starting point in terms of content production. It's much more easier, for instance, to start with niches which are heavy on static creatives, like fasting, because static creative is much more easier to replicate, right? It's like much more easier to replicate. But at the same time, you should be ready to get more competition there, right? Because it's much more easier to replicate for everyone, right? Not only for you. So this is it. It's like to find your entry points for you. What you understand is successful there, and then what you can replicate, right? And then when you kind of replicated something which looks promising for you, the next step is to test, right? To test it, to spend some kind of budget and understand what is your kind of ROI. What is the gap you should address. And then you are the kind of at the stage of the next iteration, addressing this gap, right? Then you should build kind of your hypothesis, like, okay, I think that I can improve my ROAS because of X, and then you kind of try to, as fast as possible, implement this X, whether it's a new creatives or different pricing strategy, and then you kind of make it live and test again, and then you have another iteration of all this test. Steve, doesn't sound practical for you?
Yes, and I'm gonna try to see if this is the breakdown, because Phantom has got a question and I'm trying to answer for him. Is there any way to find out what ads competitors are running on Facebook? And I'm like, yes, obviously there is.
Yeah, this is actually the this is actually the thing which predefines overall the business landscape we have right now, because we are living in the completely transparent world. You cannot hide anything, right? Because of ads library. You cannot hide anything. You cannot hide your top performing creatives, or you cannot hide your testing creatives. You cannot hide any of your kind of landing pages. You just cannot hide. Unless you are small and no one actually cares of you. This is the only way how to, but no one wants to be in this place, right? So, and like when you become somehow successful, then look, you should be very, very, very fast. This is the only way to fight with your competitors, like speed. This is I would say, the highlight of the business landscape we're having right now. So ads library API plus tools which utilize ads library API, getting the data from ads library API, and kind of giving you some insights. These insights might be top performing creatives, how long these creatives were live, kind of new creatives, what are the reach for these creatives in the European Union, even hooks. There are services which can give you hooks, and you can have some kind of the same statistic for hooks, which is absolutely amazing and absolutely necessary to work with. And yeah, this is what you may have to produce amazing content for your apps.
Yeah, I love it. So like one of the things that I use frequently is the Facebook ads library. And I was trying to think through like what you were saying, like try to find maybe this is the way to go. Vasyl, you tell me, try to find a competitor that is in the top charts, because they're probably spending money on marketing, unless obviously they have a brand, but they're also spending money on marketing. So I picked Real Short as an example, right? They're number 11 in the top US app store right now, according to SenseStar. I go to the Facebook ads library, easy to find. I put Real Short in there and I can look through. And what we've typically done is just gone to the very end. So it looks like a lot of ads. I try to find an ad that's been running for a very long time.
It's not a lot of apps. Steve, you've done an amazing job. It's exactly the workflow we should follow. but we should be aware that ads library from WebView it gives you kind of some understanding like of the creatives. But again, like big advertisers, they have a lot of creatives.
Yes.
A lot of creatives. Yeah. And to get to the bottom of it, you really need to utilize this library API.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I didn't notice, Vasyl, was like here, I was going to go to the Facebook ads library. Let me pull it up real quick. I think that I've always just used this, but I feel like there's this untapped stuff because I feel like there's some untapped stuff. So I'm always searching just for, this is all I'm doing. And I'm like, all right, I put a competitor in there, right? But what are some other things that like people might not know about?
Cool. You can just type a keyword there, not exact you can type their keyword. You can type their page ID, for instance.
So fasting.
Yeah, fasting, for instance. Like, and that's it. Like, just press enter, and you'll have
just press enter?
ads which have fasting in, right? And then it's a kind of discovery phase, right? It's when you can actually get, fresh ideas. This is important. Like I would say there are two stages of working with this library. First one is discovery stage, just to understand, just to get as much pages as possible. And another one, it's like, concrete, analyze the pages which that you are interested in. This is kind of totally different stuff. And then, like, when you click on the see more, you'll have data if the ad was at,
where's the see more?
Sorry, it's a see all details. Yeah.
This one? See ad details?
Yeah. No, not for this one. You should have the EU kind of in the territory. Then you'll have.
I changed it. I kind of messed things up. All right, let me go back to fasting.
And you'll have kind of more data about targeting and the reach numbers, which is kind of interesting.
Here, let's try this as an example.
I don't have it.
Do I not have it?
No, you don't have it. It should be exactly under this tab, right? So, but it depends. Like it works only for ads which were active, which had some impressions in the European Union.
Oh, yeah. I see. Do you want me to change the country up top?
You may change.
Okay, because I was going to pull it for Phantom and then just see what his competitor is. His competitor is congestion zone. Okay, this is such a zone. Okay, let me just do this for Phantom here. My competitor's name is Congestion Zone App, UK only. It's very specific. I don't think anything. I don't see anything.
Not that many ads.
Let's see this one because it's been running for a long time.
Benefit. Yeah. No, they don't have. Yeah, you have. Yes. That's it. Reach, targeting, and reach by age group and gender. Yeah. Look, it's very informative and beneficial. You should use this data, right?
Yeah. So which you go to the competitor, maybe go into the EU, and then figure out which countries in the EU they're running on, and then what are the demographics that have the highest reach.
Yeah, but you should understand that it doesn't work again when you have 1,000+ creatives. It doesn't work manually. It's like there is no way you can manually pull this data. You should really programmatically work on this data, and you should create your kind of team routine of analyzing this data and pulling out the insights from it, right?
How?
And this insights actually can be your bread and butter. You can work on this insights only to feed your growth.
What do you mean? Like let's take a data and then put it where?
Look, the easiest way is to pull it in spreadsheet, Google spreadsheet. You can usually utilize API connector when you can put the get request, which regularly kind of daily checks numbers on using as library API, and kind of builds your kind of graph of kind of your competitors' reach, for instance, or any other stuff which is which you can get from as library. It's kind of it's not complicated. It's easy.
Okay.
It's a public API. It has some limitations which you can work with, but still the data you can receive from that is very important, and it gives you the understanding of where the competition is right now, right? What kind of creatives do they use? That's what is trending for them. Like, what is their kind of reach trend, and many other kind of stuff which you can imagine, to pull out. So yeah, really highly kind of recommend using this stuff. Plus there are kind of a couple of products which is on the market, without need for you to create your own kind of products using the API. They have everything built in, and you can just utilize it. And but the point is to focus on right things, is to focus on right products and right tools, and not to miss kind of competition. This is the most important stuff, right? Instead of fooling yourself and looking for excuses why you are not growing, right? It's like important to change the perspective.
I like it. Vasyl, I know you
are kind of growing now.
I know this might be hard for you to answer, but I had the question when you said it too, and Phantom did too, as well. Like, what are the products? What are the tools? What are your favorite products and tools?
Look, I can call one is the ForPlay, forplay.co. They have a spider tool.
ProPlay?
ForPlay.
Spell it for me.
FORE
Mm-hmm.
play.co.
Okay.
They have a spider tool, which does a lot of research actually using the API.
That's a tricky name. I'm like, well, I don't know if I should go incognito for this. All right, so this is it, forplay.co. So this is a tool that you like.
Yeah, this is the tool. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
This is a tool.
And then you can track your competitors with this tool. So it's kind of utilizing the Meta API and then give you.
It has all the descriptions and then all the kind of stuff there, and yeah, it's the and similar stuff. It's not that this is the only one, but the kind of, again, it's about focus and focusing on right things. And like really what is most important is like understanding that everything's very transparent now because of these APIs, right? Because not only Meta has library API, like Google has as well, TikTok has as well, right? So it means like who actually is able to work with these APIs, right, wins. If you don't use it, you are blind.
Yeah, I like it. Do you have a favorite product for content creation?
I do.
Okay.
And this is again for content creation. You mean for content creation? Yeah, I do, but I won't make these ads for free, right? Look, again, tools are important. Right now, last year we had a lot of good cases with AI generated UGC creatives.
Yeah.
There are not that many products in the market. You can easily find it in Google. Amazing tools, highly recommend you. But it's important to understand where these tools are applicable and where they are not. These tools are extremely important, extremely applicable for very fast prototyping, right?
Yes.
When you just got the new hook, and for you it takes kind of a while to find the proper kind of creator, right, to make this video for you. This is why you can easily kind of in 5 minutes generate AI kind of video with the character which looks like a real human, and which tells whatever you want to tell her or he or she. It's very fast. But again, it's for fast prototyping actually, because this kind of tools has some limits, and right, you should understand that this video probably gonna live for a couple of weeks, and then but then it gives you time to find a proper creator, right, to make this video for you. Or these tools are extremely cool for translations, right, for localizations.
That's
you
true.
can Yeah, it's like it's easy, and it's like it's free. It's like it's almost free. It's like it doesn't cost a lot of money, right? And then you can make as much localization as possible for you, because previously, like, your workflow was very kind of more expensive, because you should find a proper local kind of creators. They should create the kind of local versions of your top creators, right? And then you can test, and then some of them were successful, some of them are not, right? But you paid for all of that. Right now you can, for $5-10, generate kind of AI version of this, test it, which works. You can localize with the real creators, which is cool, right? This is AI. What I recently see a lot of shift, as we have this need of kind of huge amount of creatives, right? So creative teams needs to be very, very efficient. This is why they put some kind of processes of their creative production to outsource to AI, ideation, right? Kind of this type of things, right? When you have all these processes kind of structured, then you can easily pull some parts and outsource them. For instance, you said you have kind of video editor, or I don't know, motion designer. You can easily kind of outsource this stuff. Because what is really important, and you should focus on this stuff, what is really important is creativity. This stuff probably cannot be, as the nearest future, hopefully, cannot be replicated by AI, right? Like behind this creativity are real people who are in deeply within the domain, right? Who understand what is trending now. And these people are really, really, really generate the content which drives your business, which grows your business up.
Yeah, I love it.
This is why
Vasyl,
yeah.
Go ahead. You want to finish your thought?
It's about focus. It's about focus. We should replicate everything, like, or replace everything which is with the kind of AI and other tools, and focus on what is important. Focus on right people and right things to move forward.
I can share some of my favorite AI tools right now that we've been using internally. So if that's all right with you, I know it might be hard because you're from Meta. So all right, I like Creatify right now. We've been testing that out. What we did was we just put in one of our apps and our clients' apps, and they can create these type of creatives too. And I've tried other tools like Arcads. I like this because of the types of videos, and you get to see, unlike Arcads, you get to see the video with a watermark and everything else before you use up your credits. So they generate things like this where you can reply to comments, you can do these green screens, and it's hard to edit, but it's really cool. And the script is really cool too. They'll create a script. The other one that we've tried out is Jog AI. That seems pretty cool. And this is a little bit cheaper and might be more effective. So we're kind of comparing these two. These two are the front runners so far over Arcads. So that's what I can share. All right. Phantom, he wants to know the products. All right. So these are the two that we're using right now internally.
Cool.
Jog AI and Creatify.
Yeah, you are on the right track.
All right. Phantom says, how long should you allow an ad to run before killing it?
2 days.
2 days. That's it. Is there a minimum spend?
You should answer. Yeah, I can tell more about that. We need a lot of creatives. To have a lot of creatives, we need to test huge amount of creatives. You cannot test huge amount of creatives when every test costs a lot, right? So this process should be kind of cost efficient for you. It's extremely important, right? And then kind of we should find a balance between test accuracy and cost efficiency, right? We should find this balance, right? And look, you can build a graph for you, kind of the likelihood of choosing the right test winner in every second, like in every day, from 1 to 12 days, and then you can pick the accuracy number which fits your needs. Usually, this graph becomes kind of pretty plateauing on the third day. This is why I told you like 2 days it's kind of good enough.
Okay, I love it.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does. I love this too.
Yeah, thanks for highlighting this point. This point about the accuracy and about the compromise as well, right? Because there are kind of 5 scenarios, and it's not like it's important to have different scenarios because you may have different needs. You may have different testing strategies. You may have different hypotheses, which needs kind of different testing scenarios, right? And this kind of 5 scenarios, it's a kind of balance between accuracy and cost efficiency as well. The first one is the most expensive because it relies on the testing tool, A/B test tool. Like you should run it kind of for a while to get the most reliable and statistical significant results. But at the same time, it's the most expensive, right? Okay. While kind of the rest are less accurate, but more cost efficient. That's it, right? So if you're testing kind of if you're kind of in a mode of making kind of very fast iterations, you are fine with the 80% of kind of failure rate, then you are good, right? If you need a winner, but you don't need the understanding why this creative was a winner, then you are kind of good to go with the rest. If you need kind of really real understanding why the creative kind of one and what is the difference between the first and the second one, then your scenario is the first one. That's it.
What about like one that if you're just starting with Meta, what scenario would you start with?
We're talking about web to app in general.
Let's do app, and then let's do web to app. Let's say maybe it's ultimately I want to get a start trial campaign going, a ROAS campaign, right?
Cool. Okay. We are talking about the first one is kind of understanding where you kind of your competitors are, what does the strategies work for your business right now. Another one is like, again, understand what is your goal, what is your short-term and long-term goal, and what are the resources you have, right? If we're kind of indie developer, we don't have much money, we don't have much time, we don't, we are hungry, and it's a kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky because from one point, when you start mobile app install campaigns, right? For instance, imagine you are in the business where we don't have much of web to app success cases, so making your own it's gonna be tricky and it's expensive. So if we're talking about mobile app install campaigns, we need to understand that if it's iOS, we need to spend minimum $500, $700 per day to get reliable data from IDFA, right? From Scan Network. It's important. So you should understand that you should need money. That's it, right? So the next one is to get creatives, starting from your competitors to map.
Yeah, but Vasyl, I want to forward it along because I want to make good on time. So let's just go straight to it. What scenario would you start off with if you were just starting out an app install campaign, and then we can get straight into the web install campaign?
Look, creatives, run campaign, get your results, understand what is the missing part, and then create another.
That's scenario 5?
It's internal testing. Yeah, definitely. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Scenario 5. So start off with scenario 5.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing right now with a lot of our clients and even our apps. We're doing scenario 5 where we're kind of just letting Meta do its thing. And then we have a bunch of creatives that we think will work well. And so you think that
this is it. But again, another stuff is important, like to have all the kind of procedure within your team to have this scenario.
We cover that. Sorry, Vasyl. I'm just gonna keep interrupting because I want to make sure I'm moving the show along. We have 45 minutes. Okay, so I know you talked about web to app campaign, and we got some questions here too with web to app. Look, Eddie, web to app is essentially you take a user, you get them to pay on the web, and then they use your app essentially. So that's all it is. And Vasyl, like, what scenario would you recommend to the viewers if they were doing web to app campaigns?
Look, 5 is the same 5.
Okay, cool.
5, 4, even 3, and even 2. They are very, 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 very similar. But yeah, that's it. Like scenario first, it's a kind of rare occasion when we're kind of good to go with it.
Thank you. I apologize, but I just want to. I love it because I never know.
Look, this is your show. This is your show. Like,
no, I appreciate it. It was just more like we're 4 or 5 minutes in, and we got a bunch of questions that I want your answers to. So that's why I was like, all right, I got to move this. All right, Okta says, do just boosting reels help to create brand?
Yes, why not? Absolutely. It helps you to create your audience, which might be the core for your brand, right?
Yeah, and I even did it on my personal reel.
Still, kind of building this muscle of building reels and boosting reels successfully, it builds your muscles of content production. This is probably one of the most important skills and competencies which you need and your team needs actually. So you are not only building your audience, you're building yourself as a content creator, and then you'll get to know your audience better. You'll get to know kind of the pain points of this audience better, and you'll get to know how to better address these pain points, right? What are the solutions do they need? So this is extremely, extremely important skill.
I love it. All right, cool. All right, Vasyl, anything I missed that you want to make sure we cover before we get into some dad jokes?
Okay, dad jokes, my favorite part. Look, that's it. I just want to highlight that web to app, it's not only kind of payment on web. We have the variety of web experiences right now. We have a short drama, which is probably my favorite vertical and kind of business right now. Yeah, we have novels, which have amazing web experience, very engaging part. We have ecom, which has its own kind of app-to-app, which is very successful right now. So we have a variety of experiences, and what I see right now, there is a huge kind of innovations happening on this side as well. So I really highly kind of encourage you to have a look at this side of business as well.
Okay, maybe the real short is interesting as well. All right, Vasyl, let's get into some dad jokes. Artify says, "Can I watch this later?" It's on YouTube. Of course, you can watch it later. It's literally on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere you want it. Yes.
Steve, you should say no. You can. What would be that?
No, we're taking this down like a webinar. No, we want to keep things free as well. Like Vasyl said, create that content muscle. Vasyl, like sometimes with content, man, I think a part of it is, I love everything you said because I built my entire business on content marketing, and it's just, you got to get through the tough part of not getting the views that you think you deserve. It's always a grind. And I think people quit too early. You just got to keep grinding, because 10 years later, Vasyl, I can tell you, 12 technically, but it feels great being in this position. But you have to give yourself the opportunity to be in there, because there were plenty of times where there's 100+ people here, but there's plenty of times there were 4 people and 5 people and 10 people, but like, I just kept going. So keep going too with content.
Steve, you said it kind of just right. And another thing is, which is even more important, you should be ready that kind of some of the results you got just randomly.
Yeah,
you
for
cannot
sure.
explain that. You cannot explain it.
For sure. It was looking at the market too. Like, I want to do a video on real short because you brought it up too, right? You're like, I love this short video type of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, look at them. They're making 23 million. They're charging, I just discovered, $20 a week, Vasyl. And I'm like, all right. And I stumbled onto that because I was paying attention, and I do these videos. This app is making $23 million a month, charging 20, and those videos do really well, but I stumbled into that too. But those type of videos do really, really well. Yeah, anyways, enough about me. All right, let's get into some dad jokes. Vasyl, you're the guest, my friend. Do you want to go first or second?
Look, come on, let's be first.
Okay, all right, bro, you got it, man.
Yeah, from health and fitness world, right?
Okay.
What do you call someone who can't stick to a diet?
Who? What?
A deserter.
Oh, I like that one, deserter. Okay. So Vasyl, I don't know if you know this, but in the US, I don't know if it's everywhere, but anyways, it's National Cinnamon Bun Day. I just looked up national because I wanted a theme for the joke. So I got a lot of bun jokes, kind of into fitness. All right, Vasyl. What did the hot dog bun say to the sausage?
What?
Stop loafing around and catch up. There you go. That was kind of lame. All right. Put V if you thought Vasyl's joke was better, and put S if you thought my joke was better. All you got to do is vote, and we're going to give you a free Indie App Santa promo. Free Indie App Santa promo. And if you're not familiar with this is a part of our portfolio now. It's part of our business, and we promote apps. If you guys heard me talk about app advice campaigns and all that stuff, you can promote your app. So it's like Groupon or AppSumo for apps. So you get a free promo on us. All you got to do is vote. Thank you, guys. Vasyl, spoiler alert, you're waiting right now. A lot of V's. And Hisanchi's going to pay attention. All right, let's take a look at the app audits. And we've got Nicholas's app first. It is Crumb's. He wants help on the onboarding and Paywall. Vasyl, anything that you notice from just the screenshots? I can tell you more about the app. Got ingredients, but no idea what to cook. So you get to come up with recipes based off what you got in the fridge.
All good as expected.
Yeah.
Nice app.
Any feedback you want to give?
Nice screenshots.
All right. Nicholas, Vasyl likes it all. All right, let's get into the app itself then. Yeah, I like it too. Everything is good. I think with an app like this, you're going to need meta, because nobody, ASO wise, I don't think a lot of people are searching for recipes by ingredients, right? So a meta or a content strategy is perfect for an app like this. What do you think?
Yeah. Look, there is a huge app which actually saves. I don't know whether this app does it or not, but there is a huge app which saves recipes from Instagram. Actually,
yep.
Yeah, which
What's
makes
the app called? Do you know?
Recipe something.
Or
Recite something.
Resmi? Is it Resmi at all?
Resemi, yeah, Resemi,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. I've had them on.
it is.
Yeah, I've
So
had them on the podcast.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good one. I was surprised when I explored that, but it's kind of huge one, and and
Yeah,
kind of recipes is a huge kind of category of content in Instagram and YouTube probably as well. So yeah, it's a good kind of app in terms of content production. It's a question whether people are ready to buy it, pay for it kind of instantly, and whether you can find the pain points or the keys to these people and how to communicate with them. But definitely the niche is huge.
Yep. I've had them on the podcast. So maybe Hisanshi, we can link it up into the podcast notes. So if you want to check out that podcast or YouTube video, we've had the, I'm blanking, but we've had them on the podcast as well. Cool. All right, let's get into the app itself. See, this is the bad part of getting older. Like I can't remember everything.
And we have a web to app flow. We have web landing page for them, which is kind of interesting. And I have a couple
nice
to tell. Yeah, it's
okay. Go for it.
eatwithcrumb.com.
What's that?
eatwithcrumb.com.
Oh. You mean for Crumb? You want the web? They have a web flow.
Yeah, it's not a flow. It's just a landing page. Probably they use it as a web to app with the redirect to App Store. And this kind of pages is very interesting because it has huge amount of distractors and which puts people's attention away from what is really needed. Yeah. And this is one of this one, right? So like, Steve, can you count number of call to actions in this page, right?
One.
We have
2, 3. So I guess I can combine that as it's 2.
About, blog, try.
Yeah.
And you can click try for free and you'll be surprised.
Yeah. You get this.
Right? It's a kind of it's overkill in terms of the call to actions you may have. It's usually it's very difficult to comment on someone's kind of web flow because usually it's so kind of personalized and everything makes sense. But in this case, it's kind of obvious that you should have kind of a predefined user flow, and you should take care of you should get rid of all the distractors you may have. You should focus on kind of value, which you kind of generate, which you try to bring in for your users, and then you can have this predefined flow which you expect user going through, right? These are the most important things. YouTube is a kind of killer because it may have kind of suggested videos and everything in, it can just.
Nicholas is here. Vasyl, I've always thought about this. What do you think about this idea? So this is just brainstorming for Nicholas. I've always thought like, Nicholas, if you had a try for free, right? Like, hey, we're going to give you 7 days for free. Give me your email address. Or had an offer, like an easy web to app campaign, which I think a lot of people are like, how do I connect the users? Like, how do I build the funnels? How do I build the onboarding? I thought like the easiest web to app campaign to build based off of like digital course creators that I remember talking about is just to get people's email addresses. Just be like, hey, you're going to save 25%. This is what you do, right? Have a one landing page, save 25% off. They put their email in, like right here, and then you can control everything. And then you tell Facebook, go find me people likely to give me their email address.
Makes sense. There are two things. First one is you have opt-in rate, which is not that great, right? Another one, you are missing signals completely.
What if your signal was just, I want to get people... In the early days, I just want people to put in their email address. And that's the early signals. Then I'll figure out if people give me their email address, are they going to actually buy? Because then I could use a link within App Store Connect so then I'm like really figuring it out. And then if they don't buy it, I'm like, okay, pause. This is not working, right? But at least I have email addresses too.
Yeah, theoretically it makes sense. Practically, somehow it doesn't work. Like even the people perspective is important because not every a web developer has a strong email marketer in the team.
Yeah, true.
Right. So there are kind of variety of reasons why it doesn't work. And I cannot tell you exactly which one is the most important. But for some reason, all tests I had, it was not that successful as I expected to have. Because we may have even the native Facebook lead form, which is in terms of signals is excellent, and it's maybe even cheaper
True.
to drive people outside of Meta. So it's kind of cool stuff, right? And
True.
it's very logical to test this approach using this kind of native products. Still,
Not working.
still,
No. Yeah.
still a lot of questions why it doesn't work.
Nicholas says he has an article just for more context. He's got an article driving 90% of the traffic through SEO. That's awesome. Don't sleep on SEO to drive downloads. And I had another podcast and client of ours talk about this particular type of content where they give you a listicle and a comparison, and then obviously your app is number one, and it does drive them traffic as well. It's a great strategy, especially in the early days. Just compare everything. These do well. All right, let's get into the app itself, shall we, Vasyl? And then Hisanchu's got everything loaded, Hisanchu. I love it. All right, we'll try to speed through some of these things.
See, I rely completely on your expertise in terms of app review.
What's that? Oh, we're going to rely on mine? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Nicholas. All right, let's go through this. Let's cook. Love it. Speak to Crumb. Okay. Make it yours. Okay. Time. Okay. I thought I could click on those, Nicholas. I thought they were like choices. I thought I could tap on these. Just FYI. I left you a review. Stop wasting food. Okie doke. Okay.
This is look. This is for me. Sorry interrupting.
Yeah, no, you're the guest, man. Please go.
For me, this is the screen which kind of predefines actually. Is it app from ads or from kind of other any kind of channel? Because usually apps which heavily rely on ads, they have unskippable paywalls.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And there is kind of a lot of thinking about behind that. But for me, this is the if you ask me kind of what is the definition of successful web to app client, I would say this is one of the most important things actually.
Interesting. That's interesting insight. I love it. Okay, Nicholas, what I would say is, look, what we've typically seen is having trials do actually perform a bit better. I would try to move the yearly into the middle to make sure that because people tend to pick the middle most of the time. And then I might try to get people to engage with your app first, because I did think I could tap on these and I wasn't engaging at all. But I would play around with this paywall a lot and try out. I don't know if you have a trial or if you try to set out a trial, but generally speaking, I've seen that trials do perform a bit better for most apps. So, but otherwise I like it. And I might, I kind of prefer restore subscription and enter promo code to be like by themselves as a text link. Again, to Vasyl's point about all the call to actions, I want the main call to action to be continue, pretty much buy, right? Okay, I like this. You're asking for login later.
A couple of things from my side. Think about the selling point. The selling points your app might have, like weight loss, for instance. If you can tailor your app to be good fit for weight loss, it might be kind of a killer for you, because if you pull that some users used your app and it helped them to improve their diet and they became kind of healthy and more fit, and then you can show this kind of before and after stories, it might be kind of a huge booster for your conversion rate and everything. So think about that. The alternative of kind of use cases of your app, kind of strong enough, to appeal to broad audience and grab people's attention, and things which are people used to pay for.
Yeah. I didn't know this feature. Yeah, absolutely. Because for me, like the reason why I would want this app too is just like, I just want to use up all the ingredients. Right? I don't want to waste food. I didn't know you had this feature, Nicholas. Maybe I missed it on the onboarding, so I apologize if I did, but I love this feature. Dictate. Like, hey, you could dictate. It's as easy to dictate. So Nicholas, I have the Resemi app flow. They've changed it a bit. I downloaded their app again yesterday, but look at their app flow, Resemi, because they are running a lot of meta ads. Ivy was the co-founder we had on our podcast, and their flow is, I think, perfect. And you can just copy their flow as well. But I like everything about this. This is really good. It's a really good app.
Do you have a recipe library?
What's that?
I
don't know. That's a good one. That's a good idea.
Because like it's you have an empty app. the recipe library itself it brings huge value for end users, and it's kind of pretty easy to get it, right?
Yeah. Because you can have popular ingredients, like probably everybody has eggs, probably everybody has, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't eat meat, but like I always have tofu, I always have eggs. Like, help me find
it doesn't mean that the promise what app does, which you saw on the screenshot in App Store, should be the same as you see in the app itself, right? Like app tells you, a screenshot tells you for my kind of user ingredients, but then within the app you see recipe library, and then you have breakfast, and then you know that you cook breakfast every day for your family, and then you like, come on, I need that breakfast recipe because it can help you, right, to figure out what to prep for my kind of family next. This is kind of need I have right now, right? It should not be the same as I saw on the screenshot in App Store, right? This is important. The more such things you have, the better, right? It doesn't mean that the feature because of which you bought this app should be the same feature that you use this app for because of, right? So it's kind of different stuff, and content is it's kind of important stuff to have within the app itself. What are you dictating, Steve?
I said eggs, tofu, spaghetti. What? Nice. All right, let's maybe add more rice. Of course, come on, I'm Asian. I'm always gonna have rice. All right, let's see. Create recipe. Let's go. Interesting point, Vasyl. Nicholas says that. Okay, this is not bad. Let's see.
Diets might be another one. Like really, everyone needs diets right now, and it's a important growth point as well, right?
This is cool. Good stuff, Nicholas. All right, egg and tofu fried rice. I might make this tonight. Let's go. AI image too. Beautiful. He's using a lot of AI. This app's awesome. So Nicholas, after I started using the app, then you can remove the trial because I'm either in or not. But the onboarding, try it with the trial. Post onboarding, especially after I created a recipe, kill the trial type of thing. And we've seen that work too. All right. Dimitri says, Steve, can I ask you an ASO question? Get ready, Hisanchi. I'm coming to you next. Dimitri says, can I ask you an ASO question? You can always ask me any question. Does it make sense to work on low frequency keywords which contain competitor names? Ben said it best. You won't get much traffic on competitor keywords. Steve has mentioned this before. Thank you, Ben. Dimitrio says, Vasyl, you can avoid this question, but I'm sure you get this a lot. I think I even reach out to you. I'm like, Vasyl, can you help with this? Anyways, my Facebook ad account was permanently deleted, removed. How do I fix this?
You have a support button somewhere in your account. Reach out to them.
All right, I like it. And then Romaine says, what would meta ads prices look like, let's say, for a recipe app with OK creatives? I don't know.
OK creatives, recipe apps, website optimization. I would say $15, $35 CPM, right? This is the range. It depends on how OK-ish your creatives are, right? I would expect to have CPA around, I don't know, $55, $80 if you have decent conversion rate on your landing page. So these are the benchmarks.
Yeah, things are getting really crazy. All right, love it. All right, Hisanchi, you ready to go? Let's see who the winner of round 1 was. You ready to rock, Hisanchi? Who won their joke round? Hold on. Let me get some drum roll. Do I have a drum roll? No. Okay. All right. All right. Who won the? Give us.
It's Vasyl.
Vasyl. All right. Good job, Vasyl. You win. Good job, my friend. All right. We got the winner, right? So you want to pick a winner, Indie App Santa winner? Go ahead. Spin that wheel, baby.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see.
These are all the people who voted. And then we got. Yeah. Give it to Ben. Oh, Phantom. Just kidding. Wow. All right, Phantom. You got a free Indie App Santa promo. And then, Ben, reach out to us. We're going to give you one, too, because you did amazing in just, answering the question for me for Dimitri. So thank you for that. So you both get an Indie App promo, just reach out, email me, or go to indieappsanta@gmail.com, or just email Steve@appmasters as well. Awesome. And then
Okay.
All right, Vasyl, how are you on time? Want to go to one more app? You got time?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. You might like this app, Vasyl, because you might want to remove me from this from this live stream. Oops, let me add this to the stage. So Nicholas has a people app. Oops, that's the safe. And it's a people remover. So I used to rank top 5 on some keywords, competition keywords, but the space has become much more competitive. Now I've been pushed out. Yep, I've seen that happen too. Here are the current stats, and I'll let you decide what to focus on. So he's getting about 60 downloads a day. LTV per user is about $1. Trial start rate is 18%, which is amazing, but trial conversion rate is 12%, which is horrible, but conversion to paying customers is 5%. I don't know if the math is mathing. Is that the right math for this then? Anyways, okay. Let's get into the app, shall we? Vasyl, because 60 downloads, like, Nick, or what?
Steve, this type of app, I made a kind of a huge success out of this remover lately, but it was kind of 5 years ago. I'm not sure how this type of functionality is in need for people. This is the question now, right?
Yeah.
Like the first one, and another one, kind of, why do you think that a man performs better on your screenshots versus a woman?
That's a good point. I love that. 0.18. So he's getting 180 conversions, trial conversions, and out of the 180, only 0.12 are staying. 21%. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you.
And then I would probably zoom in this particular screenshot, right? Because it might be not that obvious what is happening there actually.
Yeah.
You might zoom in, and then you might kind of just select as red these people, right?
Yeah.
Because probably when they explore this app, they wouldn't, like with their mobile device, they see only the first screenshot, right? So you need to show them instantly before after, right? Somehow. And it's not that difficult, because this kind of app and overall this functionality is kind of old, so you can find huge amount of examples how other businesses do that. Yeah. Right, Steve?
Yeah, I like it. I agree with you. And Ben is here. Oh, this is the same Ben. Ben, this is probably why you showed up. Thank you, Ben. I like it. And he does say a lot of people sign up to weekly with no trial, and that's probably the best way to do it. All right, Ben, let's see if you can improve some numbers. That trial to paid is probably the one that I would go after, and maybe just not having a trial, but let's go into the app and figure this out. Angle that brings you here. Removing. I like this. It's a great question. Remove X is the easiest way to remove photos from people from photos. But removing people I don't know. Goodbye, photo bombers. Hello, flawless videos. This must be Ben. Good to see you, Ben. Love the before and after. Oh, even these. I didn't even notice the guy in the corner. Vasyl, right here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Continue.
Oh, okay. Look. Why you don't let people make their own videos being removed, like edited?
Yeah.
Just give them, pull something, pull them their photos and work with their photos, right? Yep. It's a kind of type of personalization, right? Which is very powerful usually.
Yeah. The thing I would say too on this paywall, Ben, is play around with this. We had a very similar setup for an AI app of ours, and we saw that a 3-day on the weekly is actually performing better and no trial on the monthly. And then for your app, I might even try what Vasyl said with like a hard paywall and then no trial. So these are the things I would be testing. So we changed the paywall around, and when we were pushing yearly, because that one had the trial and it was a 7-day trial, people were unlocking it, but nobody was subscribing. And then when I changed it to weekly with a 3-day trial and yearly has no trial, we're actually seeing yearlies come in more. So Vasyl, which is crazy. And then the weekly now is performing well. So finally the revenues are starting to go up, and then our numbers look a lot better for our app. So follow some of that ChatGPT apps too. They don't have lifetime, but you can still push lifetime if you want. But yeah, I would try to push weekly as much as possible.
I would just double down on personalization. I'm kind of explored a couple of AI apps, as you said, Steve, and they have really interesting experience, right? Because having the question having a quiz at the beginning of this flow might not be the best option, right? You may like the best option, I guess, is personalization, like letting people upload their own photos, right? Then to show them that somehow you're processing these photos and then ask them to pay. This is what a lot of AI apps do right now, right? If you kind of want to generate some of your kind of photos, look, they're kind of telling that they're proceeding your photos, but it doesn't mean that it's true, right? But it gives you this feeling of personalization that you may have some kind of very highly personalized results at the end, which people usually are ready to pay for, right?
Yep. Let me see if I can find some people in here. Yeah, I love it. And what we found sometimes too is adding the asking for photo access before that, like, does sometimes work better for photo and video apps too. But I don't know if I can erase something. What I would also say, Ben, is make sure you, let me just go through this. Let me select the photo for crying out loud. All right, I'll just pick myself and I'll just try to remove myself. Okay, that's embarrassing, but whatever. It's an old photo. Yep, remove this person. Sure. Okay, this is not bad. Oh, I didn't even notice my daughter in the background. That's hilarious. Good job, Ben. You found my daughter. I did not. I should try to remove my daughter. Oh, nice.
Nice. Nicely done.
Save as edit, save as new photo.
Steve,
I don't know what that means.
Does this experience seem more appealing for you instead of having a quiz and someone else's photo?
Yeah, I actually do like it better. You know, you can try it. Like Resimi does this. Like, want to try it, and then allow them to skip too. So I really like the idea of Vasyl. This is really cool. I don't know what I want to know. Just download. I don't know what save as edit and save as photo it means. So save as use photo.
If it's too expensive for you, for instance, to process all these photos for your not paid users, you may have a couple of your dummy photos, just an examples, and let explore this functionality by end users, right? Making it cheap, but at the same time, kind of more personalized.
Yeah.
Let them pick right photos, what they like, and just play with that.
And what I would do, Ben, too, is, we did this with our AI app. We just allow you to do 3 photos for free, 3 AI automations. And then what's missing from this, and that's why I wanted to go through this, was for me to upgrade. Like, you kind of hit it here, move it to the homepage, because the most popular places that people buy are the homepage and the onboarding experience. So that's 80 to 90% of all your purchases are going to come from those 2 main pages. That's it. So add the upgrade button. And then after I did that, it was kind of, no offense to you, Ben, but it was like nothing else was happening. So you can then push. I know you asked for the review for that, but you could also ask me to pay, because I just had a great experience with your app and you're not asking me to pay either. Okay. Do you want anything else on this app for Ben, Vasyl? I've kept you too long.
Great. Oh, great.
All right. Great advice. Thank you. You have a very, okay. Yep. Phantom says that too. We got a great community here. All right. Let me see. Vasyl, you have one last joke for us? Let's want to go on final round. Yes, sir. All right. I love it. I knew I would like you, Vasyl.
What do you call a chameleon that cannot change color?
What?
Reptile dysfunction.
Oh, I don't know if I can beat that one. That one's good. Okay. I'll just give up. All right, let me just go with this one. Why did the baker open a gym? Vasyl, why did a baker open a gym?
Is it something about weight loss?
Yeah. To get their buns in shape. There you go. All right, I'm going to give Vasyl the win on there. Vasyl, next time I see you in person, if we ever see each other in person, I owe you a pint of beer, a favorite drink, coffee, whatever you want, because I give up. Yes, Phantom, we all know. That was a great joke. All right, Vasyl, I've got some questions left, and then we can say goodbye here too. All right. I think I covered this, but Web2 app campaigns, pre-boarding, sales strategy, yes, it allows you to avoid some of those heavy taxes that the App Store provides.
But please bear in mind, you should invest a lot in building your own payment infrastructure. So it doesn't mean that you can expect kind of minus 30% and that's it, right? You should kind of care of support cases. You should care of, you'll still have some fees you should pay for all the payments, but you should care about your refunds, support cases, and any other stuff. Web to app is very resourceful, right? And you need to have some sort of scale to make it more profitable compared to the Apple infrastructure. Plus, when you work with kind of this kind of players, you have trust of these players, right? You use the infrastructure. People used to see their kind of logos and every stuff. So it's a balance as well. You should not expect kind of, right, in your business model, just put the minus 30% and you are done. No. It's much more complicated.
I like it. Thank you for sharing that. Andy says, what types of apps are you seeing breaking even on day 1, day 7 with meta ads?
1 day, 1.7 meta apps. Kind of, Andy, it's I would like to know that as well. I would like to know that as well. But again, it's another trade-off. Profitability or scale, yes. Right? Profitability in scale declines, and you should find a balance as well, right? Because you may have again been profitable, but with very, very small number of kind of users. When you kind of scaling up, at the same time, you are facing much stronger competition. So it's important stuff as well.
Yep, agreed. Andy, it's that's a business, right? Let's say $100 to $300 a day on spend. But I agree with you.
Look, 100 to 100, it's come on, man. It's try to find a right setup for you for this money. Even for tests, you need much more, just to to build the infrastructure and to run first campaigns and to make the first kind of profitability. Usually, businesses need much more to find their break-even point. That's it. It's heavy for the start as well. And unfortunately, overall, this app business became kind of much more expensive to start, right?
Yes.
It's much less kind of preferable place for indie developers, right?
Yes. How many, what Vasyl, I wanted to say is, look, I felt the pain building my own business and seeing how much, especially in the beginning, how hard it is to get anything off the ground. This is why I wanted to build this channel. This is the thesis that I build the content through. Is I know this is hard, but there's a lot of failures in the very beginning that I've had, a lot of projects that I've had that have completely failed. And, a lot of times it's the ability to adjust and move on and pivot from something to
Still, I highly appreciate your efforts, actually. I have the same feeling. I see a lot of very good apps, which are unfortunately not that successful right now.
Yes.
And what I'm trying to say that they're unsuccessful because they focus on wrong things.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
This
yeah.
is it.
It's there's these stats out there that, most businesses fail, right? And so it's kind of like you are picking something that is already extremely hard. Most businesses are going to fail. It's your chance to figure out what's going to work. I didn't seek out to do an agency when I first started this podcast and channel. It just was something that people asked me for. And so the theme of this, to close the loop on this, Vasyl said it best: content is the name of the game. Figure it out, because even the brands we work with, Vasyl, they have a strong content. They have a strong Instagram following. They have a strong Facebook following. They're figuring out content because they know that the ecosystem, they want to own the entire ecosystem and the mind share of their users beyond just trying to run ads. And, if you want to just run a funnel game where you're spending money and it's completely LTV to CAC, you're going to burn out, because like Vasyl said, you're going to hit a ceiling with scale and profitability. That is going to X out right this. Right. So, all right, Vasyl, any closing thoughts, my friend?
Look, man, thanks. It was amazing discussion. Awesome. Happy to repeat it one more time when you have kind of proper moment and proper topic to have.
Always, bro.
Thanks.
You're always welcome. Look, if you're not following Vasyl on LinkedIn, you can try to connect with him. I hate getting all the connect. Just follow him. He's got some amazing content. He really breaks down. That's how I've been able to find this creative testing. I save a lot of Vasyl's LinkedIn posts in there. He's a great follow. It is something that you're going to need in the app ecosystem. Meta ads. It's very hard to just get ASO off the ground as a new app. Not impossible, but just very hard to do. So follow Vasyl on LinkedIn. All right, Vasyl. If the audience wants to connect with you in any other way, do you want to send them anywhere else, my friend?
Please DM me whatever you want to know more. If I can help you, I'll be happy to.
All right, awesome. Well, let Vasyl know that you heard it on my podcast so that I get a little credit as well. And next week, we're going to talk all about localization, Vasyl, where we're going to talk about running ads in different markets. We're going to talk about pricing. We're going to talk about ASO and how you can utilize, and we're going to share some of the early results. Some are good, some are bad, and just kind of show you guys how we're breaking down localization, because I do think that it's a no-brainer, especially for you indies out there as well. Vasyl, thank you so much for coming on and doing this.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for your amazing job.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you